Hello! This is HookedByHappenstance. I'm Kendra, and it is Wednesday. I know what day it is. It's Wednesday, March 6th. And it is time for my Sunday sunrise, because they don't always happen on Sunday. My sister had a friend growing up whose name was like Tuesday, I think. She had a name that was a day of the week, and like, she existed on days that weren't that day. So obviously my video series that has a day of the week in the name should exist whenever it's convenient. So I have been thinking about these goals since Sunday, actually since last Sunday, when it would have been a week since I made my goals. But I was not ready to make this video, and now I am. So we're just gonna go with it. So what happens here with my Sunday sunrise is it is my solution to New Year's resolutions. Instead of making long-term goals at the beginning of the year that I am unlikely to follow through with, I make weekly-ish goals where I make a goal for a week or whatever period of time it turns out to be, basically from when I make one video till the next, it seems at this point. And I attempt to complete them, and then I come back and I talk to you about what I did and like kind of how or why I did it, and then what I want to do moving forward. So I try to shed light on the past choices I made and then look forward to the opportunity of the time to come and how I'm going to spend that time. Now, I employ a concept that I like to call tiny paper, big marker, which means that I use a big pen so that my writing is bold and takes up space, because the activities I do take up space, and that is an important thing to recognize. The things you choose to spend your time on will take time. Sometimes my brain forgets that, and it thinks that it can accomplish all the things in none of the time. They're just going to magically get done. But there are really only so many hours of the day, and I have to prioritize those hours in a way that is best for myself and my family. So we're always trying to balance out what that means, because it does not always mean the same thing from week to week or even moment to moment. But we're doing a better job of that. I like to use a tiny paper because I can then only put a limited number of items on my list, because naturally I am a person who likes to overcommit, which unfortunately leads to under-delivering, which just leads to feeling bad a lot. I was telling a friend recently that Kendra lives in a guilt economy where the way I decide things to do is I pick the list of things that's in my head and I think which of these will cause me to alleviate the most guilt by completing them, and then I do. Is that a healthy way to exist? Probably not. Is it the way I've existed for most of my life that I can remember? Yes, it is. So, I always feel like I'm trying to catch up on things, and so here we are again, trying to catch up on things. Let's begin by looking at our last tiny list, which this year my lists have gotten tinier. I used to use like lined paper, like one of those lined notepads, but it was only lined in the bottom. And that seemed like a limited number of stuff, right? Well, I still seem to find ways to overcommit, so I had to get smaller. So small, I've been writing my lists on these tiny Post-its. I also have been trying to make my goals very few words, so that they can almost become a mantra in my head, so that I can just think through the list repeatedly and know like where I've decided I'm going to put my focus in my crafty life. This particular video series just focuses on the tiny list that involves my crafty life, which does involve like my channel, my Patreon, and my shop, and the channel. So those are all things, and like designs, and I do a lot of things on the crafty life side. So they all kind of fall onto the tiny Post-it, which is a lot of things to aim at a Post-it. So let's discuss the last little list and see how I did. So the first thing on this list was to complete sleeves. Those were the sleeves on my Freaker Frog success sweater, which obviously I completed because I wore it in a video, and actually in a few videos you'll see it more, because I really like the sweater. So if you haven't seen the sweater, you should watch my last Freaker Frog success story video where I'm wearing a multicolored sweater. That's the sweater with the sleeves I finished, and I really like how the sleeves turned out. So yes, I did that. Postcard. I needed to mail out Patreon postcards for last month. Did that. And I'm already percolating on ideas for this next month. They've been coming out like later and later in the month because I've been having more and more ideas and like narrowing them down on what to do, and also trying to be realistic, because honestly people, sometimes my ideas are a lot of work for what they actually are. Like, I gotta dial things back. trying to work on dialing things back across the board because I'm real good at extra, not so good at like the necessity basics of things. So working on that. The next thing is setup. I am working on setting up a new thing for the channel. I have all of the concepts together and I have some of the things. I'm trying to decide artistically how I want the thing I'm looking at, one of the items that's included, which is behind you. And I'm still trying to figure out artistically how I want it to look because I want this to be a thing that I do frequently, if not all the time, which means I need to make sure that I like the way the object in question looks since it's gonna become a staple of my channel, I think. So, I'm still working on it. It's not done, unfortunately. The last thing on my list was to finish my book. I was reading An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, and it was due back to the lending library because it was an ebook, and I needed to finish it because I wanted to be able to add the stripe to my reading shawl. Now, I'm actually many books behind on my reading shawl, so I'm adding those in because I have to film a video after I make every stripe, do a stripe, film a video, which means I have to be in the mood to film a video after every stripe. It's a vicious cycle. But I did finish the book, and you'll hear more about that when I discuss it on a Yarn Tales video. So now we're on to this week, and like I said, it's already Wednesday, and if I'm trying to make the goal of doing these on Sundays or thereabouts, then I have today, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have 4 days. So I was like, you really should focus, number one, on the things you know you're legit gonna do. Like, it's a good thing to have stuff on your list that pushes you to do stuff that you want to have done, but you know you won't do unless there's some, like, silly contrived reason. Like, you have to gamify to trick your mind into playing along, right? It's always good to have some of those things, but especially when you're on a short time period, I find it is best to make your list the things you know you are naturally going to gravitate toward. If there are certain things that are pulling your energy anyways, sometimes, if it is practical, give yourself permission to make those your priority. Like, prioritize the feel-goods, right? And that is what I am doing, as well as adding in some of the things that I want to be doing that, like, in my brain I know are things that will meet those goals, will help me with that whole guilt economy. They will alleviate some weird guilt. Not that anybody else puts the guilt on me, it's all Kendra induced. I have a lot of it. So yeah, to like find the things that will help reduce those feelings but also make me happy. So there are 3 things on my list this week. And we'll talk about them. The first thing is videos. I have filmed some videos for both this channel and my vlog channel that I have not even edited. Like, I have footage just sitting on my laptop, and I need to sit down and do some editing and get those videos out into the world, because that would be good, including this one that I'm filming right now, which I think was part of the holdup, because I wanted to put this video out, even though I'd filmed some other, it's a mess. So, I just need to do the thing, and then the thing will be done. Because done is sometimes better than perfect. Oftentimes, yes. So, I'll put this video out and then more will follow it. The next thing on my list is blanket. That is the whole do the thing that you know you're going to do anyways, and then you can feel successful. Because I started on Monday, I started a new blanket. Why? I don't know. I just decided it was the thing I was going to do. I started it, and now I'm a wee bit obsessed, and I am just barreling through it, and that is really good because it is a project that, like, I want to be done with, but I also really want to like, and I am liking it now, and so I want to stay on it while I'm still, like, I haven't messed it up yet. So, I'm working on that. And the last thing on my list is surprise, and the surprise is the setup thing that I was talking about. I want to get it done enough that I can share it, because I want to do it is the main thing. It is an idea for the channel here that I want to do, and I am excited to have happen, but it takes a little bit of prep and a little bit of, commitment to making it happen now and in the future. But it's an idea that has been rolling around in my head for months. I've been trying, I've mentioned before, to not overcommit. So I've been trying to do less promising of things. I don't know that I'm doing a good job, but I am at least attempting to like under promise and over deliver. So not say I'm going to do anything, but then just do things. I don't know if that's actually happening, but I'm at least making the intention that that is what I'm going to do. So I'm trying not to just like leap into when I have energy. I'm trying to not just leap into all the things and think that that energy is going to maintain, because it has been proven of late that my mood and energy levels are very changeable and changeable at a moment's notice. And that when I'm feeling really good and motivated and like I'm capable, I make lots of commitments to do all the things, because in that moment it seems like I actually can follow through on all of them. So I start all the things, or I start planning all the things, and then something happens and the mood and energy drops, and then I don't follow through on those things, and then I just feel terrible, which makes the already feeling terrible feel worse. And you know how that all goes, I assume. So I'm trying to kind of mediate those feelings and find like a mid-ground. So I'm trying to be better about like when I want to do a thing, well, I want to harness that like energy and excitement for something new, because that is honestly when I am most productive personally. I'm trying to like harness that energy, but either like keep things closer to the vest till they're done and then I can share them, or think on them longer to really try and find sustainable means of doing all the things, instead of just constantly like starting and failing at life. So that is that. Now is a good time for you, I think, to take a moment to think about your week if you haven't done so already, or if you already have, maybe you're ahead of me. Look at your list and see, how are you doing? Like, check in. I do find that is helpful to check in throughout the week, not just wait till the next Sunday and look and go, oh, so those were the things we were supposed to be doing. Like, Wednesday is not a bad time to look at your list and think, oh, like, what have I done? Because frequently I will look at that list and be like, there are some successes here. Even if I can't check the item off, I have made progress. Even if it's just, I have taken my little energy in my head and my heart and I've like made a little ball that I'm now ready to roll toward that endeavor. So make a little energy ball if you haven't, and then pick your object and throw. Alrighty, if you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe down below, because they do come out intermittently, and that is the best way to make sure that you don't miss out. Also, follow me on Instagram at HookedByHappenstance, because I have been posting random pictures of things that I've been wearing, because I also have set a weird kind of challenge for myself for the month as far as my handmade wardrobe and wearing the things. I don't know. It's getting me out of bed in the morning though, because I have thought about what I'm going to put on once I do that. Alright, I will see you all next time. Bye!